A very good afternoon, and thanks for clicking on to Vogan's European Outlook. It is the Saturday edition. It's the 25th of June, quickly approaching the month of July and the second summer month of 2022. Hard to believe. Hear the noise in the background. It's the fridge running. I'm loading carrots as I speak for a trip down to Kettle Produce down in Cooper in Fife. Then I'll be shooting across to Langdon's in Eurocentral, just outside Glasgow, for a load to go down to Newark-on-Trent, Sunday into Monday. So it gives you a rough idea what I've got over the next couple of days. And the sun is shining, beautiful day here, just outside Turf, sitting at Maxwell Farms, and it's hard to believe actually the conditions that we've got in some parts of the British Isles at the moment. This is the pressure chart, by the way, of the Meteo Seal website. We've got a central pressure with low pressure just off the west coast of Ireland at 988 millibars. That is pretty low for the time of the year, and we're seeing some fairly strong winds, so much so that we're seeing gale force winds over exposed coasts of both Ireland and the UK. We're seeing wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour during a few hours ago over Cairngorm Summit. Now, the air temperature, by the way, started off this morning at about between 9 and 10 Celsius. It's now sitting on 4.3 with a wind chill of -3 up just over the 4,000 foot level. So, it's certainly not summer-like over the top of the Cairngorms today, and I'm sure there's many people hill walking today and thinking, wow, it's cold, it doesn't feel like the end of June. So this is the pressure chart, like I say. That area of low pressure centered off the Irish coastline is going to bob around over the next couple of days, and we're going to see spells of fairly heavy, fairly persistent rain, especially underneath that or close to that area of low pressure itself. Now, this is the current radar chart here, and you can see plenty of rainfall across southwest and western portions of the Republic, into the western portion, well, really over Donegal, I suppose. Shower activity over other areas of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and also into the UK as well. As stated before, the best of the conditions the further east you go. You can see here some fairly heavy and fairly organised rainfall here across the north coast of France, pushing through the Channel, just skimming, it looks like, the Kent and Norfolk coastline, as you can see here. So, interesting stuff. This is the current temperature profile across the UK and Ireland. So, reasonably fresh conditions compared to recent days. In fact, the warmest temperatures in all of the UK, it looks as if parts of Lincolnshire, Norfolk, and also along the Moray coast of Scotland. Look at this here, 10 Celsius. Now, I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Conahay or what? But it's Conahay. I'm sure somebody will correct me. I do know there's a few folk that watch from Ireland, so can you give me the right pronunciation of that, or at least tell me if I'm right or wrong with that. But look at that, 10.4 Celsius with a wind chill of 6 Celsius. For the time of the year, that is pretty darn cool, actually. And certainly we've got some fairly windy conditions as well. We'll have a look. This is in kilometres per hour, by the way, of the Meteo Seal site, but you can see here 44 at Aviemore, 50 at Tain, 54 you notice here at both Kinloss and Lossiemouth. We've got wind speeds in the 60s across the parts of Donegal and also the north coast of Northern Ireland as well, also the Atlantic coast. Also, temperature wise across Europe, certainly plenty of heat to speak about, not in the western half of the European continent, may I add, but across the main central portion of the continent. Sorry, I'm kind of just skipping through as I speak. So we've got plenty of 30s here, or 20s, upper 20s across central portions of Sweden, as you can see here. Have we got a 30? Looks as if we've just below the 30-degree mark in many parts of Scandinavia and Finland as well, as you can see here. I used to always think that Finland, by the way, was in part of Scandinavia, but it was actually corrected that Finland is not a part of Scandinavia. That actually surprised me. For some reason, I always thought these three nations were all part of Scandinavia. Cool across northwestern portions of Spain today, if you notice here, also across northern Portugal. That's considerably below normal for the time of the year. And look at even France, all presence of that low just off the west coast of Ireland, cycling some fairly chilly air, really actually out of Iceland and Greenland, around the circulation and into the western portion of the continent. Of course, all the while, ahead of that system, we've got warm air getting lifted out of Africa, where we're seeing temperatures once again, not really surprising, but temperatures into the mid-40s in parts of central portions of Algeria. So, of course, with that area of low pressure off Ireland, we've got high pressure as well. We're seeing some of that heat get lifted north, plenty of heat across parts of Greece, as you can see here. So let's have a look at the GFS chart here. I'm going to try and do a quick video today. But you can see here, over the next several days, we're going to see that area of low pressure continue to spin over and near Ireland, and we're going to see cycling around that precipitation, some fairly persistent rain, but as well as that shower activity. And the south and eastern portion of the UK largely escapes much in the way of rainfall. We've got some fairly messy conditions, as you can see here, across parts of Belgium, particularly the Netherlands, Germany, the central region of Europe, and extending up into Scandinavia as well. Here comes the second area of low pressure as we start the new work week next week. We've got a band of rain moving in off the Atlantic and spreading its way eastwards here. All the while, south and eastern portions of the UK largely escaping that rainfall here, but it looks as if it's going to continue to be messy and unsettled as we move into the month of July here. And finally, let's have a look at the temperature chart here, the 850s, and it looks as if we're going to escape any kind of major heat. So there's that cooler wrapping around that circulation into the western portion of Iberia, into France. Gone is those 25 Celsius temperatures at 850 like we've seen back around this time last weekend. Remember, it was around this time last weekend that we're talking about temperatures in excess of 40 Celsius across the board, across much of France. It was the hottest June day on record. What a difference a weekend can make in terms of weather. So really amazing stuff, actually, when you think about that, the difference between the two weekends, between the two Saturdays in this region. But notice here, as that area of low pressure is spinning around and near the UK, bringing cool air in off the Atlantic, look at the amount of heat that's lifting out of Africa and into the central and southern portion of Europe here. Some of that cooler, you notice here, it's starting to extend eastwards into the central region, cutting that heat off from Scandinavia, as you can see here. But it's going to be a torrid old time across Italy, across Greece, into perhaps western Turkey. Then we'll start to see temperatures warming up across Iberia, if you notice here. But all the while, we don't really get a great deal of warmth into the UK as we start the month of July here. And certainly, look at that, there are some tremendous amounts of heat trying to spill out of Africa and into the southern portion of Europe as we push towards next weekend here. So certainly some plenty of heat to speak about on the continent, not so much across the UK and Ireland here. Certainly Ireland has not been much of a summer really so far, and we'll just have to keep an eye on that as we go forward. Hopefully in tomorrow's video I will look at the July forecast and try and get that released on markhoganweather.com. If not tomorrow, the next couple of days. So thanks for watching, I do appreciate it. As always, please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'll be back again tomorrow with more. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Bye for now.